Hi, my name's John T. Wright. I'm the Holy Father's Son in the flesh before your very eyes. And it's going to be Thanksgiving. And I truly hope that everybody's going to have a nice, safe trip back and forth to wherever they go. But there's a lot of stuff that's going on in the United States of America. And for those that decided that they're going to hunker down at home, you're probably smart. Maybe you're God-fearing people. And maybe you should. And for all those people that are daredevils and is going to go out there, I'll pray for you that you make it there and back safely. So just beware, the Holy Father Son is on your side. But I'll tell you what, these people in Lewis County, Washington's ripped me off for a bowling alley. They've ripped me off for $400,000. They've extorted me and they've held my son away from me for years. Ran him off over there to the East Coast. And I'll tell you what, vengeance is mine, saith the Lord. They've ripped me off for my property. As a matter of fact, I got a bad goddamn grievance with Geico Insurance. And also the lawyer that worked for me was a judge at the Department of L&I. And they've settled my claim on the lower instead of the higher. And by the way, when I contacted them over all this here stuff, they said that I was no more than a conspiracy theory, right? Well, you look at the goddamn weather in the Pacific Northwest and around the world that's going on right now, and when you piss off the Holy Father Son, you're going to have goddamn troubles. And you know what? I didn't know I was the Holy Father Son. And I had a $1.5 million bowling alley. Well, it was about 1.5, 1.3 to 1.5 after me and my real estate agent cleaned it up a little bit. But nevertheless, he got goddamn greedy and ripped me off for $400,000 and jumped in bed with those people, and I warned him against that. I said, Bob Clifton Kling, you are fucking jumping in the bed with the wrong people. I said, you might end up dead. And Bob Kling is goddamn dead today, along with everybody else. I had a girlfriend in Morton, Washington named Lisa. Hey, she came down to my house. She had sex with me. My family goddamn knew it. My dad, my sister Patty. Patty, you fucking had dinner with Lisa, and George did too. And you goddamn people was Zodiac and D.B. Cooper, and you guys had fucking shit against me. That woman ended up with her hands and feet cut off and out there by Bob and Carol Whitlow's house outside of Morton. And Bob and Carol Whitlow was my original neighbors on Division Street where Terry Lance Shortridge got murdered. And Jim Kaiser lives right there in that place where Terry Shortridge got murdered. He lived right downstairs from Lisa at the Napa Auto Parts store. She lived right up there in the apartment above. I know they have the connection. And by the way, law enforcement officer Morning Glory up there in Morningstar up there in Morton, Washington, he wanted me to come out to Morton, Washington so I could get goddamn killed when I was at my sister's house. And those goddamn people had me pinned down there in Thurston County, had the cops sitting over across the street at that goddamn fire station. And the Thurston County cops can't goddamn tell me that I hadn't been fucking held down there in Thurston County. Goddamn, revenge is upon all of you. I had to have the law enforcement community come out there when I put 2 fucking tables up that said call 911 with a toy AR-15 and a coffee cup with my brother's face on it. Well, we got a lot of goddamn shirts and memorabilia out there that they make money off my goddamn family's face and mine. And you know what? Revenge is upon the whole goddamn world over it. You fucking rip me off. You rip off my fucking family. You rip off everything. Look at this. I goddamn didn't know till last goddamn year. Now I'm before your motherfucking eyes. By the way, I wish everybody to have a nice Thanksgiving dinner. The Holy Father is goddamn hot. And these people in Lewis County, Washington, George Fairhart, James Van Cleve, Jerry L. Wright, Patty L. Wright, James Martin Wright. Every one of you goddamn start singing like a goddamn bird, because you know what? Your lives depend on it, and your neighbors' lives depend on it. You know why? Because if you're guilty, they're guilty. It's like Gary that lives outside, out there next to Jim Wright's house. Jim Wright told me he had a gun goddamn pointed on my fucking head when I was out there at his house, when I stopped out there on the way to the lake. And I stopped in, I seen my nephews and nieces at Jim's house. God damn you, Jim Wright. I fucking remember every goddamn thing. You goddamn murdered my friend on my bed. Could you even fucking explain how you did that? Can you goddamn explain? He goes like this. He goes, I just shot my best friend. Jerry takes a shot at me like this. He says, I almost stabbed you in the face with that screwdriver. Goddamn, God's in control. He's been protecting me all my life. I was going to have a fucking bowling alley so I could have my friends come over, because what? I go out there and talk common sense to people. It was like going to be my goddamn church. But I'm not a real church goer. Why? Because goddamn, I went to fucking churches. I went to a church in Morton, Washington after the murder of Terry Shortridge, and they were all goddamn acting out. I goddamn had to leave. Wayne Curry walked me outside. I said, what is this? He says, that's not real. We just do this shit. You just goddamn do that shit. You get the fuck away from the Holy Father, because we don't want you no more. We don't want goddamn actors from a bunch of fucking churches that don't even fucking follow the goddamn book. You know? So Thanksgiving. I was held hostage in 1971. Yep. Held hostage. I was at the house in Division Street with my brother-in-law, Richard S. Baker. Richard Sheraton Baker, like a fucking fruitcake. And by the way, there's many things about it. You call your kids something, maybe they're going to turn out to be something goddamn bad, like calling a boy named Sue. Well, I'll tell you what. Terry Lance Shortridge came over to the house, and I'll tell you, after he got there, he knew that I was in Morton, Washington by myself, being held by my brother-in-law, and there's this fucking thing. The whole town knew that there was a fucking hijacking, and I was right there. They found out behind everyone's back. They had to silence the town by murdering that Terry Lance Shortridge, the boy that just came out and told the fucking thing. And he did right on my bed, so it silenced the town. Shame on every goddamn person. You fucking came after my best friend, and then you came after my son too. Shame on all of you. And you know what the Holy Father wants out of me? He wants me to goddamn perform for him. Whether it's singing, fighting for the cause, being a good, upstanding, moral person that's just, hey, you know what? I can go out and date anyone I want. I could sleep with whomever I want. You know why? Because at least when I do something wrong, I confess what I've done. Even though the Holy Father don't seem like it's too goddamn wrong to me. Does it seem too wrong to you? Are you going to judge me when I never wanted to judge you? You know, there's things that's happened, and the Holy Father is upset. Now you look at this. You got weather warnings on 15 states, but none of them is Washington State. Oregon, California, all the states around us, but except Washington State's off the snow thing this week. I just want you to know. 7 feet of snow to hit some mountain area would bring chaos just before Thanksgiving. You know what? I asked Geico to fucking pay off my fucking thing, and I told them to get that check down here in my mailbox. And they failed to goddamn do so. I had words with them. I contacted the Department of L&I, and when they said, you know, I'm just no more than a conspiracy theory, and said that, I told them, I said, well, I've been considered to be illiterate. And I just threw the case back at them. Again, I just threw it right back in their face. And now you got the pie in your face for the damage that's happened in the Pacific Northwest. Because why? You came against the Holy Father's Son. And I spoke my grievance and I laid it out. I had a book. The Bible. Shaking my hand in 2014. Shake, shake, shake. It wasn't my doing. 2014. And the keys fell into my lap. God gave me the keys. I picked them up with my right hand. I ultimately went down to the paper mill the Georgia Pacific Paper Mill is what it's called today. And I took the keys and I threw them right in the water that goes underneath the the little creek that goes, the little creek, river, whatever it is. Underneath that mill, it goes right under the road. And I threw the keys in there, and as I said, anything worth having's worth working for. And I seen the keys go, and it turned red. And I am not shitting you. And I'm telling you the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. And you guys got, you know, a heck of a storm that's happened here in the Pacific Northwest. Down here, I have no trees that's down here. I haven't had bad weather. The people in Camas seems to have been favored over the windstorm, other than the town looks like it's rained out. And God damn it, I hate fucking cigarette butts, and I hate Donald Trump signs. And if I go like this, guess what? You're goddamn blotted out and you're condemned, because I've seen wrong. I've seen wrong, and the Holy Father's going to act out too. You know, God sees through innocent children's eyes. Those little children that's being abused by parents that fucking hate them. Your children are knocking you off, and you goddamn, don't tell anyone on me. You don't even have to worry about it. It's done. It's a goddamn done deal. And that's what I was getting. I was being told terrible things along the way. Terrible things along the way. And my name's John Wright. And you know what? I've been paying the fucking price since 1971. And God Almighty's in control now, because He's used me to get His kingdom to come. And I goddamn guarantee you, I promised Him that He could use me as a tool for His kingdom to come. Now, are you going to be a vase of destruction, or are you going to be a vase of honor? Because that's where you're at today. You know, you should honor the Holy Father, because if you will honor the Holy Father, you have impressed me. And if you've impressed me, you have great favor with the Holy Father, is what I'm saying. And you have a wonderful day. Have a nice Thanksgiving. I wish nobody harm. I wish everybody well. But you goddamn don't fucking dare the Holy Father, because I will goddamn do it for Him. I'm having gooey duck for Thanksgiving. You have your turkey. God wants gooey duck. I'm going to perform. I'm going to have gooey duck for the Holy Father. I'm even buying a shirt for gooey duck. I've already purchased it. It's on its way here. And you have a nice and wonderful day, because I goddamn do the best I can every day I can. And you better remember that. I work for America. I work for you. I work for the whole goddamn world. And my button is a lot goddamn bigger than Putin's button or Donald Trump's button. And the Holy Father will have the last say in this. And all of His enemies will be ashes under His feet. And if you do better, it will be accepted, is what the Holy Father's saying to me. And have a nice Thanksgiving, everyone. And I wish you well. You'll see me online. Tune in. I promise you, I am the one that got the keys out of a Bible. And I have so much more to tell you. Have a great and wonderful day. I bring you best wishes from the Holy Father and myself. Have a nice day. Bye.